Hi there everyone, it is currently the 22nd of March 2012 and out here in the Western Pacific we are continuing to watch some areas in the westerlies today, continuing to push off towards the east there, bringing some increase in rain out across the Korean Peninsula and then eventually over towards Japan as we go into the weekend as well. Good news though, out ahead of this low we do have southerly warm air continuing to pump in from the south, so that's going to be bringing a little bit of a warm up out across much of Japan here, including the southern Korean Peninsula. So very welcomed relief as temperatures have been relatively cooler than average here the last several days. But really main topic of discussion today is these two areas of low pressures. First one over the Philippines, bringing a continuous heavy rainfall there today. Actually over 200 millimeters of rainfall in some locations out across Visayas and Mindanao, and over 100 millimeters still expected over the next several days as this continues to spin here. And also we have this area here south of Guam. We've been talking about this the last several days. Let's actually pull up our tropical cyclone formation probability courtesy of NOAA here, and you can see that there is an increased chance of tropical cyclone development. Actually, it's the first time I actually seen the colors up in the blue here yet this year. Actually, this so far that really hasn't been quite like this yet. Not way up into the reds yet, but still in the blues here. So that means there is that slight increase in a chance as this low continues to track off towards the west. But main concern is, even if it doesn't develop, where's it exactly going to be going? Well, it's still going to follow this whole monsoonal trough along the southern periphery of the Westpac High off here towards the north. So likely it's not going to recurve and shoot off towards the north here, but basically follow this whole troughing of low pressure. As I've already said in the past, really tropical lows, they always want to follow the area of least resistance, kind of like water flowing down a hill. So with that said, this looks like more of a plausible scenario coming through this way right in here. If we look at the stream route analysis, this also agrees with my analysis here, just showing the overall background flow continuing to push off towards central Visayas and northern Mindanao along the southern periphery of the Westpac High out here. Also a lot of vorticity, upward vertical motion associated with this. So even if it doesn't develop, still think that a lot of energy is going to continue to steer off towards the west. And actually, with this model outlook that I'm going to show you this morning here, this is the GFS outlook. And as we go into the next several days and then eventually into next week, you can just see that energy being carried out towards the west, but it doesn't really develop into much of anything. See a little swirl here, have some more energy moving over the Philippines, but really no cyclone development. But the other model that we tend to use here is no gaps. Now this model is being very aggressive, but consistently aggressive the last several days, so that does have to bode for something here. As we go into Sunday and then Monday into Tuesday, you see a possibility of a cyclone, or excuse me, a tropical storm kind of development right in here over southern Visayas and northern Mindanao as we go into middle part of next week. We've been talking about this continually the last several days. The model hasn't really backed off on it yet, so something to continue to watch into next week, the possibility of a tropical low development here. So definitely the threat is there. If this does develop, flash flooding is likely going to be a major threat, and even the possibility of landslides out across much of this region. We do remember last year with Tropical Storm Washi was a relatively weak storm, but still brought a lot of damage and deaths out across this area. So with that said, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as always, please post them in the comment box below, and also please stay safe out there, everybody. Have a great day.